have started with the eye. Okay, so here is the structure of eye. So first of all, you draw the structure. Later we will be discussing about the characteristic feature of the eyes. Okay, so you can start drawing the structure and label it properly. Okay. So here is the diagram which is representing the vertical section of the human eye. Okay, so you can see here different types of labelings are there. Okay, which are representing the different part of the eye. Okay, so yesterday we have started with the position and shape. Okay, then protective covering which are found in the eye. So first protective covering was eyebrows. Okay, these are hairy structures, right? Then another one was the eyelid. It consists of three parts again. Which are those? Lower, upper, and again. Sorry. Meibomial gland. Isn't it? Meibomial. Yes. So these are the structures which are found in the eyelid. Okay. Apart from that, third part it is the lacrimal glands. Okay, which are again in the protection. As we have also discussed yesterday, these lacrimal glands, they are nothing but a tear glands. So tears which have been released from the eyes are nothing but a kind of defensive substances. Okay, it consists of the enzyme or the lytic enzyme called as the lysozyme, right? So that lysozyme is supposed to degrade, or it is acting as a lytic enzyme. Okay, it brings about the lysis. So let's write down about it. That is the third one. That is lacrimal glands. Lacrimal glands. Now, at the upper and outer border of each eye, there is an almond shaped lacrimal gland, or tear gland. As we know, we are called by release of tears, we know these glands, right? So what we also call as the tear glands. These are also referred as the lacrimal gland. Okay. So where they are located? They are located upper and outer border. Okay. So what tears comes outside the eyes, isn't it? The next, which secretes an alkaline and watery lacrimal secretion. Okay. Or performs four main functions. So basically, these lacrimal glands are active during any interaction with the outer environment. Suppose the eyes, they are exposed, right? They generally remain exposed only. So what happens is, we find that there is what will happen? There will be entry of the dust material. Okay, if there is an entry of dust material, if we are getting in contact with or we are exposed to high intensity light, okay, at that time there will be secretion of the such fluid or the watery substance, right? That is nothing but a tear. So what happens over there? What the functions can be played by the lacrimal gland is, first, it keeps eyes moist. Okay, that is the first function of the lacrimal gland or the tear glands. That is the secretion. Okay. Second, it cleans the cornea. It cleans the cornea from dust. So basically, dust which gets entered. So here, this part is the cornea. You can see in the diagram also. Okay, that is the third outermost covering. That is the cornea. Okay, which is getting if the dust particle enters the eye. Okay, so in that part we get the irritations, isn't it? So basically, these dust particles, they are removed outside with the help of the tears which are secreted by the lacrimal glands. Okay, so what they are involved in the protection. Right? The next, this is a type of protection only. Third function, it has bacterial lighting, lysozyme. Bacterial lighting means it can degrade the bacterial cells, right? If suppose, as we know, eyes are exposed, so from the environment, many different types of bacteria can be travel through the air, okay, and when they get trapped within the eyes, where it is having a moisture, okay, so there is a possibility of growth of bacteria. But what happens over here is, these eyes, they releases the enzymes also, which are referred as the lysozyme, generally referred as bacterial lighting lysozyme. So what they will do, they will cleave or cut or destroy the bacterial cells. Fine. So So what they are providing a kind of defense mechanism to the body. Okay, the next fourth function, it provides nutrition to cornea. Nutrition to cornea. Basically they are defensive as well as they can provide the nutrition to the cornea part of the eye. Okay, so these are the main important functions of the lacrimal gland. Okay, then the next part is the adipose tissue. Now what is meant by adipose tissue? See, we have already studied from the previous chapters. In many different chapters we have discussed about it. What is meant by adipose tissue? So adipose means it is a consisting of the fat. Okay, so there are two different types of fats, brown, yellow fat, right, which are found beneath the skin, that is under the areolar connective tissue. So here also the adipose tissue, it is a fatty layer, okay, and it is also important for protection, providing the protection. So we can write T, that is the is it done, the functions? Okay, I'll run this. Done, no? Okay. Diagram is also done. Have you drawn the diagram? Okay, fine. So the next is that is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue. Now it is a layer of fat. It is a layer of fat. It is a layer of fat present in the orbit. What is orbit, by the way? It is the eye socket, okay, or socket within the skull bone, okay. So that is what it is called, orbit, okay. And here there is a presence of the adipose tissue. Means adipose tissue, basically they are acting as a shock absorbers, okay. The main function of fat is to provide the protection, okay, by preparing a layer around the important tissues, okay. So here it protects, what are the function? It protects the eyes from mechanical shocks. See, the structure of eye is very delicate, we know that, isn't it? So we try to protect it more. Now the thing is that if there is any entrapment, any dust particle is being trapped within the eye, what we do is generally rub the eyes, isn't it? Have you ever think that अगर हम इतना जोर से रब कर रहे हैं तो आँख अंदर क्यों नहीं चले जाता? हाँ? और it is not being shifted down or upward, isn't it? होता है? नहीं होता ना? क्यों? Because of it is been surrounded by the adipose tissue. Basically ये mechanical shock absorb करने के लिए, okay, and also for positioning the eye into that particular area, isn't it? वरना ऐसा हो सकता था ना कि आँख को दबाए तो अंदर चली गई, होता है? फिर भी हम काफी प्रेशर से उसे पुश करते हैं, रब करते हैं ना, ये नहीं होता. It is due to the adipose tissue. The next, the third main part is the structure. So already we have seen the structure. Now we will note down the important points about the structure. Okay. So structure. Now structurally the wall of eye is formed of three coats. Actually 3 coatings are there, okay. If you observe the diagram again, you can see three different coatings are there which are located, okay, on the wall of the eye, and these are number one. These are fibrous tunic. Then this fibrous tunic is formed of two unequal parts. Okay, that is, it is also consisting of two unequal parts. That is the sclerotic and another one is the cornea. Okay, sclerotic and cornea. These are the sub parts under the first part or the first coat, okay, which is supposed to provide the protection again. So that is, fibrous tunic is divided into sclerotic as well as the cornea. Second, that is the vascular coat. Or uvea. Vascular coat or uvea. Now this vascular coat, it is composed of three parts. Okay, it is made up of three parts. That is, the first one is the chorioid. Okay, second is the ciliary part. And third, it is the iridial part. Okay, iridial part. Now this is what the structure is. Okay, and this iridial part is also been further divided into certain muscles. That is, the sphincter muscle is there and the dilator muscles are there. Okay, so these are the basic two coats. Third coat also we'll see. So let's start with the fibrous tunic and vascular coat. Okay, later we'll see about the third one. So have you done with this? Okay. So the first one is the fibrous tunic. Okay. You will note down the characteristic feature and try to understand what it is made up of. Okay. Just what you have to understand is here. See, when we look after the structure of eye, it looks quite complex, but it is not that complex. Just we have to remember the number of layers. Okay, and these layers, what they are composed of. Fine, and it's very simple now. Now see here, first that is the fibrous tunic. It is outermost thick and tough layer. Okay, so fibrous tunic is outermost thick and tough layer. Okay, then it is the only complete layer. It is the only complete layer. Okay, and helps in mechanical protection. Helps in mechanical protection, means it provides a mechanical support or mechanical protection. Okay, that is the function of the fibrous tunic. Okay, protection again also shape of the eye and provides attachment or the and provides the surface, basically provides the surface for attachment of eye muscles. Attachment of eye muscles. Okay, so that is the function of fibrous tuning. Okay, so that is what the introductory part of the fibrous tuning. Now let's see their parts. Okay, so that is the first mode, and the fibrous tuning. The fibrous tuning is formed of two unequal parts. Okay, generally when we find two parts, that is equal part, but here it is unequal part. Okay, as because of the shape of the eye. So here let's see what are these two unequal parts. So that is, number one is the sclerotic. Okay, now sclerotic, it is posterior. As you can see in the diagram also, we have labeled the sclerotic part in the posterior part of the eye, or not in the anterior part. Okay, so it is posterior, comma, larger tuft and opaque part. Okay, what do you mean by opaque? Means the light will not be passed, isn't it? Actually, yes. Opaque means the part from where we cannot see the either from the other side or to the inner side. Okay, and transparent is that that is the exactly opposite of that. Okay, or you can see opaque is the exactly opposite of transparent. Okay, so that is a part of the sclerotic region. The next, it is formed of dense white fibrous connective tissue. White fibrous connective tissue. Now, what do you mean by white fibrous connective tissue? It is nothing but a collagen, isn't it? So dense means it is found in a compact part. Okay, or in compactly there is an arrangement of the white fibrous connective tissue. Okay, you can understand that the connective tissue are broadly classified, okay, as dense connective tissue also. So here they have the dense, regular as well as irregular fibrous. Okay, if dense regular means it is composed of white fibrous connective tissue. Fine. The next, it is mainly enclosed in the orbit. It is mainly enclosed in the orbit, except a small visible part, called white of eye. enclosed in the orbit, that is the socket, okay, eye socket, and a small part, except a small part visible, that is a white of eye. So white part of the eye, okay, that is a small part over here. Next, this is what about the sclerotic. Second is the cornea. Okay, so what exactly cornea is? It is anterior. It is anterior, smaller, transparent. So here we can understand why it is called two unequal, because it is larger and it is the smaller. Okay, so these are the two unequal parts. That is the smaller, it is the anterior, is found in the front side. Okay, smaller, transparent. Okay, transparent, bulging part, bulging part, bulging part of, or bulging exposed part, if you write, bulging exposed part of eye. Okay, bulging exposed part of the eye. Okay, the next, it is non-vascular. Okay, you write non-vascular. Right? So it is non-vascular. Is it done? This part is done. I'll continue the points over here in this region. So it is, it refracts. It refracts the incident light ray. The incident light ray. The incident light ray to focus on the retina, okay. So basically the light which is in passing, okay, will be refracted towards the retina, okay, focus towards the retina. Okay, the next, it is externally covered by, it is externally covered by, it is externally covered by a thin transparent, stratified epithelium. Now what is stratified epithelium? What do you mean by stratified? Multi-layered, very good. So it is multi-layered, stratified in the sense multi-layered. So here it is covered by a thin, transparent, stratified epithelium. Called conjunctiva. Okay, so it is nothing but a thin part, but multi-layered. Generally what happens when we rub the eyes, okay, at that time a little part of the conjunctiva, okay, or if the part which has been exposed over it can get damaged, it will be replaced by the another layer which is present just behind it. So it is multi-layered. It provides basically a function that is nothing but a protection. Okay, it also provides the protection. So what it is a part of the tunic, what we say, fibrous tunic, that is the outermost coat. Okay, fine. The next second part, that is the vascular cord. Vascular cord or uvea. Okay, vascular cord or uvea. Okay, so what this vascular cord is composed of? Okay, let's see. So vascular cord, it is the middle layer. Okay, or it is a middle cord. It is middle cord. It is middle cord and is incomplete. And is incomplete. Okay, incomplete anteriorly. The next, so you can see in the diagram I have drawn a layer which is in the red color. Okay, it is not completely around the eye, isn't it? So it is incomplete. Okay, so it is incomplete anteriorly, and it is formed of three parts. It is formed of three parts. Okay, this part is done. It is formed of three parts. Let's see the first part. That is the chorioid. Okay, that is the first part, which is the chorioid. Now, what is chorioid basically? So it is also a type of protective layer which is formed. Okay, so that is the second coat is there. Which one is the vascular coat? Okay, of which chorioid is a part. Now, chorioid, it is thin. It is thin. Pigmented, that is which type of pigment? That is called melanin. Okay, so you can write in the bracket with melanin, pigmented with melanin. Okay, bluish, colored, and highly sensitive part present along the inner side of sclerotic. Okay, this is present at the inner side of this sclerotic. Sclerotic, that is the first part in the fibrous tunic, that is in the outer coat. Okay, so it is present in the inner side of the sclerotic. The next, it is formed of loose fibrous connective tissue. Loose fibrous connective tissue. Okay, it is formed of loose fibrous connective tissue. Don't write the short form here. I have written CT. That is connective tissue. Okay, so and performs two functions. performs two functions. So let's write down the functions. That is, first it darkens the eye. It darkens the eyeball. For total absorption of light. For total absorption of light. For total absorption of light. Okay. The next, another function is it provides nutrition to retina. It provides nutrition to retina. Nutrition to retina. Okay, so these are the functions of the first part, okay, under the middle layer, isn't it? That is the choroid, and as it is pigmented, right? So what it forms a darkness, okay, in the eyeball, isn't it? So this is what the first part of the middle layer. The second part of the middle layer is, so before starting with the second part, yes, have you wrote the functions? Okay, then let's start with the second part. That is the ciliary part. Ciliary part. Basically, ciliary part means nothing but ciliary muscles which are located around the eye, okay, or which are present around the eye. So see here, what is their function and what is their location. These are thickened, or it is a thickened ring-like structure. This thickened ring-like structure present inner to the junction of the sclerotic and cornea. Okay, so ciliary part, it is thickened ring-like structure, okay, present inner to junctions, okay, of the sclerotic and the cornea. Okay, so at that junction this part is located, right? The next, it is produced, next point, it is produced into radiating folds called ciliary processes. Okay, ciliary processes having two sets of smooth ciliary ciliary muscles. Smooth ciliary muscles. Okay. So this is what about the ciliary part. Okay. So it is present in the junction of the sclerotic as well as the cornea, right? It is produced into the radiating fold. Okay. That is called as the ciliary processes. Okay. And having two sets of ciliary muscles. Okay. So this is what about the ciliary part. So we'll continue here. Is it done? This part is done? Fine. See, just look after the diagram. You'll get to know what these points are or what these structures are. Okay. The next. Now the first set of the ciliary muscle of the ciliary, yes. So the first set will be circular muscles. That is, we have two sets of ciliary muscles, right? So within that, the first set will be the circular muscles. So first set is the circular muscles. Now, where these are located actually? These are circularly arranged. These are circularly arranged, and when contracts decrease the size of eyeball. Decrease the size of eyeball. Okay. So contraction of the circular muscle will decrease the size of eyeball. The next, another type of muscles are the second one is the meridional muscles. Sorry? सर्क्युलर मसल्स हे बघा सिलियरी पार्ट जो आहे सिलियरी पार्ट मध्ये दोन सेटचे मसल्स असतात ओके फर्स्ट सेट ऑफ मसल इज कॉल्ड एज द सर्क्युलर मसल ओके एज आई हैव shown you it has two sets of okay ciliary muscles so first is the circular muscle and second one is the meridional muscles meridional muscles okay now see this ciliary or the meridional muscle or circular muscles okay these muscles they are supposed to show the movement of the eyes or movement within the eyes so when there is a what we say when the light focuses on the retina okay certain contraction like activities are seen okay your muscles will contract or they will decrease means you can see within the retina okay when the light is been exposed or a high intensity light is exposed you can see the changes within it that changes is nothing but regulated by this type of muscles okay so see meridional muscles when these contracts the chorioid is pulled forward. The chorioid is pulled forward. Okay. So basically, it is also a type of movement. See, when we try to enlarge the eyes like this. Okay, that means it's kind of yes activities depending upon the stimulus we are getting. See, so at that time the posterior region where the chorioid is located, it will contract. Isn't it? So that is chorioid will be pulled forward. The next, yes, another, yes, third part will be see. Is it done? ये हो गया है? नहीं हो गया है? हो गया है. ये नहीं होता. चलो अच्छी बात. Okay. The third one, that is iridium part. Iridium in the sense iris वाला जो part होता है, that is okay. Iridium part. So what it consists of? It is a thin. It is a thin pigmented. It is a thin pigmented and opaque diaphragm which hangs in the eyeball just in front of the lens. Just in front of the lens. Okay. Next point. It is centrally incomplete. It is centrally incomplete. So we have seen the structure of eye, right? So in this region you can see